My name is Kristi. I have been coming out to Metro for a little, maybe almost 3 years. I need to think about that. I started going to church when I was in elementary school, when I moved to the States. And I went because one of my school friends invited me, and before that I didn't really know Christ at all. I think it was the first time that I experienced like, oh, you have a loving God who loves you no matter what, and you're forgiven no matter what. And I think that was the message that I first heard and really held on to for majority of my life. I don't think my parents ever really intended for it to be very approval-based, but I think just growing up in a culture where it is a lot about like your works and excelling, I think it went into a lot of having to be good to get approval even from my parents. I think to earn it, I was a really great, like, I was just a very studious, nice, young kid. And I thought that it was like my responsibility to have to be good to like satisfy like people, to make their lives better, you know? So I never skipped school, I never skipped church. Yeah. A lot of it was I was just doing what was good and doing what I thought I was supposed to do to live life. And I think I kind of came to a point where I was just growing a little bitter towards God. Like I was like the older brother in the prodigal son story, just kind of slaving away without finding joy, and ultimately kind of finding myself as like, why am I doing all this for to earn the approval of God and man? And then like when life didn't really turn out the way that I expected it to, I think there was a sense of, maybe God doesn't care about me, and all of this is like meaningless. So then I think I just stopped doing a lot of things and just went to just living a lifestyle that wasn't very God honoring, and I think I knew that, and didn't really find a lot of remorse or guilt in it, because I think I felt like deserving. Before coming to Philly, like I was living in Harrisburg, but in some ways I think I was just running away from all the people that knew me really well, to kind of pursue like what I thought I wanted, and to like live and build a life for myself. But I was pretty like alone and didn't have any accountability. I was just kind of free to do everything that I think I wanted to do. I think my heart was just really far, but I was at the point where I had hit rock bottom, and I think I was kind of battling between this idea of having to earn my way back by doing the right things again. I was trying to go through the motions of being good without having a heart really necessarily to have a heart change. And so I wasn't really expecting anything when I started coming back, or when I started coming to Metro. I think I just wanted to be in the community, be at church, and continue to live like a life. Dang it, I don't even know, it's been so long. I was gonna make breakfast bowl. So I think it was mainly just people speaking into my life. And I think just as I was saying, I think I lived my whole life thinking that I was just a theoretical sinner, and I'm just a theoretical sinner that needed theoretical forgiveness. And life was good that way. But when people that I thought loved me were challenging me to see that you actually have these sins A, B, and C that you are so blind to, I had to reconcile the fact that people are speaking out of love, and that there is truth in what they speak and what they do. So I think that it was like a hard time. I was definitely like very indignant and offended, and I had to just work through that with them together.
Yeah, right. Anytime I look at a picture that we took, I'm like, oh my God.
I think like I was going through this season like a year or two ago where I was like, I don't know why I don't have joy, and I was trying to find joy in like whatever I could, and I was like looking up all these like scriptures on like what joy looks like and why don't I have joy. And I think I realized that at the end of the day, like I was seeking for, again, like joy and not seeking for Christ. And yeah, I think ultimately that was like the biggest like change, I guess, if you're thinking, is like in my daily life, how does the gospel speak to me in this moment right now, in my sin and in my sadness or in my happiness? If I could talk to Kristi 5 or 10 years ago, something that I would want to tell her is that you're a greater sinner than you ever dared imagine, but you're more loved than you ever dared hope. Okay, Psalm 34. I sought the Lord, and he answered me and delivered me from all my fears. Those who look to him are radiant, and their faces shall never be ashamed. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him. Oh, fear the Lord, you his saints, for those who fear him have no lack.